What if I told you this? In Southeast Asia, today's race for air power is being overshadowed not by a fifth-generation fighter, but by a historic misconception that refuses to die. Hard to believe, isn't it? And no, that aircraft isn't the flashy F-35 or the mysterious Su-57. It's an old doctrine called symmetric warfare, the idea that strength is measured simply by how many fighter jets you own. In 2024, Indonesia shocked the region by signing massive Rafale deals, moving toward the F-15EX, and quietly eyeing the F-35 in the long run. Singapore, meanwhile, has already stepped into the Premier League of global air forces by acquiring the F-35. For many, stealth is the one and only survival ticket in a dangerously crowded neighborhood. But here's the part most people overlook. While the region is obsessed with showing off the newest fighters, Vietnam appears remarkably calm. We continue flying the familiar Su-30 Mk2s while pouring resources into what many outsiders dismiss as secondary: air defense systems, coastal missile forces, and electronic warfare. Why? Why would a country with a brutal wartime past, a long and exposed coastline, and one of the most delicate strategic positions in Asia refuse to join this flashy arms race in the sky? Is this restraint a sign of wisdom or a calculated gamble?
Southeast Asia isn't just beaches and seafood. It's one of the fastest militarizing regions on the planet. According to the Diplomat 2023, great power competition is turning the region into a strategic hotspot. Modernizing air forces isn't just about deterring external threats, it's about protecting massive economic interests, offshore oil and gas, and trillions of dollars in maritime trade passing through the South China Sea. For perspective, Singapore, a country a third the size of Ho Chi Minh City, spent USD 13.4 billion in defense in 2023. Even the Philippines is rapidly upgrading its military to respond to South China Sea tensions. Vietnam's defense spending is projected to rise to $7.8 billion by 2028. But the key isn't how much is spent, it's where. While many nations focus on flashy new fighters, reports highlight Vietnam's growing emphasis on maritime security, including air power, air defense, and surface-subsurface warfare. That leads to the core idea. Air power strength in Southeast Asia isn't determined by how many jets you have, but by the doctrine behind them.
To understand Southeast Asia's air power race, divide it into three strategic tiers. 1. Asian Tigers, maximum tech, zero compromise. These are wealthy, tech-driven nations obsessed with staying ahead. The main players? Singapore and an ambitious Indonesia. Singapore, a small country with no strategic depth, no room to retreat. Its doctrine is simple: achieve air superiority from the first second. That's why Singapore ordered 20 F-35s, Defense News 2023, including the STOVL F-35B, perfect for a nation with limited airfields. Their philosophy? They don't need many aircraft. They need stealthy, networked platforms that can penetrate enemy airspace undetected. Indonesia, a vast archipelagic state with enormous airspace to patrol. They ordered 42 Rafales, are negotiating for F-15EX, and want a mix of long-range capability plus modern tech. Their ambition? Build the largest air force in Southeast Asia. A touch of irony. Buying the F-35 is like buying the world's most expensive smartphone. It's incredible until the battery dies or you lose your Wi-Fi. For many ASEAN countries, the real question isn't whether they can buy the F-35, but whether they can maintain, repair, and sustain it. The Diplomat 2024 notes that the real challenge isn't acquisition, it's maintenance and spare parts logistics.
2. Tactical defenders. Balance, upgrade, sustain. These countries have long coastlines, complex disputes, and rising budgets, but must prioritize carefully. The key players: Vietnam and Malaysia. Vietnam: we operate the Su-30 Mk2 fleet, but instead of chasing the F-35, Vietnam focuses on upgrading. The Su-30 Mk2V modernization includes improved avionics tailored for tropical maritime warfare. VN Express 2016. Key upgrades: Sapson-S optical targeting for long-range sea surveillance, M400 radar with wide area coverage, emphasis on anti-ship missiles, long-range tracking, and patrol endurance. Vietnam's doctrine isn't fly into enemy airspace and dominate, it's monitor, deter, and strike from afar. With heavy payload capacity and long range, the Su-30 acts as a powerful mobile missile platform, ideal for defending large maritime zones. Malaysia operates Su-30 MKM, seeking affordable light fighters like the FA-50. Their objective? Maintain credible control of their waters without bankrupting the treasury. Strategic takeaway? Tier 2 countries understand this truth. A modernized, older aircraft with strong radar, ECM, and network connectivity can be deadlier than a shiny new jet without support.
3. Minimalist movers. Mobility over might. These nations prioritize territorial patrol and internal security. Philippines. Long overdue modernization, acquiring more FA-50s, Lowy Institute 2024. While shifting from internal counterinsurgency to external defense as South China Sea tensions rise. The Diplomat 2025. Thailand. Longtime F-16 operator, now diversifying with Swedish Gripens to reduce dependency and control operating costs. So what should Vietnam do? Should we buy the F-35 and join the Premier League? Minh Quan defense position is simple. Not yet, and not necessary. The biggest misunderstanding among casual viewers is believing that newer fighters automatically win wars. Reality is more complicated. Victory depends on range, sensors, survivability, and system synergy. An F-35 may be invisible to radar, but it still needs bases, tankers, logistics, protection, and air defense coverage. Even the US struggles with F-35 sustainment costs. In a high-intensity conflict over the South China Sea, international military experts warn that even advanced stealth aircraft can become giant flying targets once counter-stealth systems lock in, similar to how CSIS described the vulnerability of large surface ships in their 2024 simulations. Vietnam's approach, upgrading Su-30s and strengthening air defense, reflects a philosophy of long-range deterrence and cost-optimized security. We're not trying to dominate enemy airspace like Indonesia or Singapore. We're trying to make any hostile action so expensive, so risky, that no one wants to try.
Here's the part almost no commentary channel talks about. The factor that will shape Southeast Asia's balance of power over the next decade: Vietnam's silent weapon. If air power is the sword, Vietnam's multi-layered air defense network is the shield of steel. Vietnam operates the S-300 PMU-1, a strategic long-range air defense system considered one of the most formidable in the region. According to Vietnam.VN 2025, the 30N6E radar, known as the Super Eye, uses phased array Doppler tech, can detect stealth aircraft, strong electronic countermeasures, tracks targets with high precision under jamming conditions, engages up to 6 targets simultaneously, maximum range 150 kilometers,
Engagement altitude, 27,000 meters. This isn't a jet. This is a fortress protecting strategic sites and coastal corridors. And maintaining an S-300 battery is still far cheaper than operating a full F-35 squadron. Vietnam's strategy is clear. Create a dense, deadly no-go zone, A2AD. Using long-range SAMs, coastal missiles, medium-range batteries, short-range systems, and multirole Su-30s as the mobile reconnaissance strike arm. It's conservative, but brutally efficient. Don't defeat every intruder. Just make the price of intrusion unbearably high. That's Vietnam's real air power. Not loud, not shiny, but deep, layered, and structurally coherent.
In Southeast Asia's air power race, there's no universal champion. Only strategies shaped by geography, budgets, and survival philosophy. Singapore needs speed and stealth. Indonesia needs numbers and reach. Vietnam needs cost-effective deterrence. And that's exactly what we're building. That's the story of the skies. But what about the world beneath the waves? In the next episode of our series, Southeast Asia's Arms Race, we dive into the submarine and anti-ship missile wars. Who is the silent king of the South China Sea? Comment below. Which Southeast Asian navy has the smartest long-term strategy? And don't forget to subscribe for more sharp geopolitical analysis. Minh Quan Defense. News analyzed differently.